What's going on, fellas? So, this past weekend, today's Monday. I don't know when I'm going to post this video, but just to give you guys an idea of the timeline, on Saturday, I went out to the clubs after quarantine for 2 months. And I went there with my buddy of mine, and there's a lot of things that went down in that one night, and I have a bunch of videos coming up talking about them. On this one, though, I want to talk about this particular event that took place. So, we went to this one club, stayed there for like an hour and a half, and then we left that club and went to another one right next to it. And keep in mind that I haven't pulled any girl to come home with me yet. And just to give you guys an idea, I don't go out to have this idea in mind. I don't go out with this idea in mind that I'm gonna pull chicks and bring them back home. That's not why I'm going out. I'm going out to enjoy my time. I haven't gone out in a while. I don't really go out that often, fellas. Maybe like 2 to 3 times a year. That's it. Because I have other important things I would rather spend my money and time and energy on. But every now and then I'll still go. And I'm there to enjoy the music, my friends, and have a good time. I don't really care if I get girls or not because I've done it so much. I'm over it. It's nothing new to me. The game is nothing new to me, so it doesn't really excite me as much as it used to. And if I don't get anyone, that's cool too. But anyways, so my buddy and I will go to this other club, this club that's about to shut down. Everything's about to shut down within 30 minutes. So we go there, and I find these two girls. One of them is really cute. And by really cute, I mean she's like a solid 7. The other one, her friend, is ugly. So I go over there. I tell my buddy, hey, I'm going to go talk to them. Come on, come with me. I go over there. I introduce myself. I turn around. My buddy's nowhere to be found. And he's the type of dude, and I don't really want to keep calling him buddy because after this night we're not really friends anymore, and I'll get to that on another video. So he kind of checks himself out of the game himself. He's not the most in shape guys. He's not as tall as I am, and so he always has some sort of excuse that, oh dude, you're just better looking than me. You work out, you take care of your body, and you're taller than me. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Like I'm not even gonna. I explained enough times to him that, dude, you need to work on yourself, so I'm not going to keep sounding like a broken radio. So I look over my shoulder and I see that he is talking to another couple. Why? I'll get to that in another video. That's not important that's not the important point of this video. So I'm talking to this girl, the girl who's 7. She's twerking on me at this point by now. We're both drunk, and there was a point where I would get drunk and I would just make a fool out of myself. I would act hella desperate. But now, lately, I've noticed that even if I do get drunk, I still hold on to my masculine frame. Do you know why? It's because I have been practicing it. It has become a lifestyle for me. So that's why I don't have to fake it anymore. I am becoming that person. I can feel it, fellas, and you will be able to feel it when you get to that next level in your life. I promise you'll feel it. I can't just describe what that feeling is like, but you'll feel it. You will have this sometimes you'll even get this delusional sense of self-confidence that, man, I don't care whatever position I'm in, I deserve her. I'm going to go talk to her. That type of feelings you're going to get. You're going to be very arrogant. Now, that can be good and bad, but that's besides the point. Anyway, so I'm talking on her, whatever. She's talking on me. I'm not talking on her, whatever. And then I go and talk to her friend, engage with her friend a little bit, because you already know that in situations like this, if you don't entertain the friends, taking the girl who you really want home with is not going to be as successful as if you were talking to the friend and you get the friend on your side. You get the friend to like you. So I'm talking to the friend and whatnot. I look over at her and I see that she's talking to another dude. Like, this girl is a complete hoe. Just to give you guys an idea. I mean, they all are who's out there in this night scene anyways, but she's talking to this other dude who's a little bit taller than me. Complete white boy. Like when I say the complete white boy, I mean that it can't get whiter than that. Like, obviously you can see that I'm not white. And so I'm trying to think how I would describe him. He's like a dad, but in his early 20s. That type of guy. Polo, button up polo, khaki pants, hair combed to one side, and and he's not in the greatest. He's not in the greatest shape either. And so what happened is he's trying to get with her, obviously, right? And you can clearly tell she's repelling, like she's not into him. He even like tried to pull her closer one time, and she like tried to put her hand in between her and him. And he's still not being able to take the hint. Like he's so desperate. It's I'm cringing just looking at this situation. And then she goes and starts talking to her friend. She grabs her friend and goes over a little bit away from us. And I'm standing next to this dude. He goes, "Hey, bro. Oh, by the way, just to give you a little bit of backstory, before he came in and talked to this girl who was twerking on me, before he even came in and started anything up, he asks, like straight up asks me in front of her, 'Hey, are you two in any relationship?' I look at him, I'm like, 'No.' And then he's like, 'Oh, cool. So, hi, my name is,' and then he introduces himself to her. And I'm talking to the friend, whatever. And then she grabs the friend, goes over. I'm standing next to this dude, and the dude goes, 'It's cool though, bro, right? Like, if I talk to her, whatever.' I just look at him dead in the eyes. I'm like, 'No.' Like, clearly you saw what was happening before you came in, and you're trying to pull some shit right now.' I just told him, 'No.' He's like, what do you mean? What do you mean no?' I'm like, 'No, it's not cool.' Like, I could not look any more serious than that. And I was not laughing. I was not trying to make any kind of joke. He said, 'Is it cool?' I said, 'No, it's not cool.' Why? Because it's disrespectful. It's not that I'm desperate to get the ass, but it's just disrespectful. You're clearly seeing that I'm trying to hit on her and I'm trying to take it home with me, and you're going to try and cock block me. Obviously, it's very disrespectful. And he looked down at me for a little bit. He's a little bit taller, imagine. Just keep in mind, he's a little bit taller. And I'll get to, that's why I tell you, height is not be all end all. Now, yeah, granted, I am 6 feet tall, so I'm tall enough. I think he was like 6'2" or something, 6'1". And he goes, "Okay." Like, this guy knew that if he tried to start anything with me right now, he wouldn't win that. I know it, he knew it. He goes, "Okay." And then he goes over, while she's talking to her friend, he grabs her hand and starts to bring her close to him, to his junk. So she starts twerking on him. I'm like, dude, oh my God, what are you doing? And then the friend comes and stands next to me, and I just look at her friend. I'm like, man, that's impressive how much he's trying. She's like, yeah, she's clearly not into him. I'm like, why? Why do you say that? She said, he's too white for me and her. I'm like, told you. Like, I didn't say that to her, but in my head, I'm thinking, told you. Like, dude, take a hint, bro. If, like, before, all I had to do is show up and introduce myself. "Hey, my name is Zeke. What's your name?" Da da da. And she automatically turned around. I grabbed her hand, and I spun her a little bit. She automatically turned around and started talking on me. And you're coming in here trying to do the exact same thing to her, and she's pushing off of her. Does that seem like a sign of interest to you, bro? And you're still trying and trying and trying. Now, fellas, a lot of you might come in here and say that, "Oh, what's the worst gonna happen? I mean, it's not a big deal if I just try. Whatever, I don't care what they think of me." It's not them thinking of you. This is the big point of this video. It's not them thinking something of you. It's how you think of yourself to take yourself to that level of desperation. And also another thing, what happens is the more desperate you act, the further away you get from the ass, right? We all know that. And when you lose it, when you don't get it, you feel even worse about yourself if you just got flat out rejected the first time and you moved on. Why? Because you put more and more investment into it. You put more of your energy and your time into it. So you're expecting more. Your expectations go up. And when you don't get what you want, but your expectations are still high, it's very hard to walk away from that without getting your ego hurt. This is why when a long-term relationship breaks up, you see that, and it broke up because the girl broke up with the guy. You always see the guys chasing after the girl. Why? Because chances are, for the most part, guys are way more invested into it than the girls, and their expectations go up even more. And when they fall flat on their face, now it's not their heart is broken as much as their ego is broken. And that's why I say you always need to let go, because once you let go, your ego heals, and the quicker your ego heals, the faster your heart will heal. I promise you. It's still going to take time. Nothing, there's no magical process that's gonna fasten up the process. There's no magical thing that's gonna fasten up the process. It's still gonna take time, but you need to keep your expectations low. And how do you do that? Just try it once. I'm not saying that you should be the stuck up kind of dude and sit back and let her all do all the work. That's not gonna happen, especially if she's a good looking girl. You still go and make your first move. And if you get rejected, turned down, you walk away from there. There's no reason why you should be going after it, bro. Desperation is cringy. And I was honestly cringed out by that. Like, dude, come on, man. Like, I almost pulled out my card from my pocket of my YouTube channel and gave it to him. Like, bro, watch my videos. You need some red pill knowledge here, bro. Like, oh my God. Like, I'll give props to the guy for his confidence. Like, how he came in and while I'm standing 2 feet away from this girl, and he saw clearly that she was twerking on me. While he saw all that, he still came in and introduced himself to her. While that's still a very bold move, I'll give him that, definitely. Like, if a lot of successful, good-looking guys had that kind of confidence, we wouldn't even probably need to make red pill content like this. Or if most guys even had that level of confidence, we probably wouldn't even need to be making content like this, fellas. So that confidence is very, very, very important, yes. And that gets you in your door, in the door. But after that, you still have to meet her minimum attraction requirements. Just because you have confidence and she's not attracted to, but she's not attracted to you, doesn't mean you're gonna get anything out of that. Just confidence alone is not gonna do it. She needs to be attracted to. As I just said, she doesn't like white guys, so that guy wasn't her type. Or no, I didn't say, she didn't say she didn't like white guys. She just said he's too white for her. So that's what I was trying to say earlier when I said that, how I would describe this guy as a typical dad in a early 20 dude's body. Like, he just carries himself like a dad. So I guess that's what I really meant when I said too white, or she said too white. I guess that's what she meant. And guys, stop seeming so desperate. Online messages, don't double text, don't blow up her phone, don't text her once and then text her back 6 hours later if she hasn't responded. Oh, have you seen my text? Yeah, she's seen your text. She's ignoring you for a reason. Anywhere you see, if you ask a girl out and she doesn't give you a straight up answer, she tries to beat around the bush, like, oh, I don't know you, we just met, or it's gonna be awkward if we just go out. We need to talk a little bit a couple of weeks before we go out. None of that. No. If she giving you any trouble of BS or even any kind of beating around the bush kind of crap, just put the ball in her court. Be like, oh, okay, no worries. Seems like you have a lot going on in your plate. Now you have two options. Either put the ball. You have two options in this scenario. If she tries to play some sort of games like that, either you put the ball in her court or you hit her back up 3 weeks later, 2 to 3 weeks later. So whichever you want, because if you put the ball in her court, chances are she's never going to hit you up. So that's like saying that I'm going to cut her off completely, but in a nicer way. So what you do is say, oh, looks like you have a lot going on in your plate. Hit me up when your schedule opens up. Or you say, oh, looks like you're busy or whatever, or you have a lot going on. I'll hit you up later. So whatever you want to do with this girl, if this girl is really worth it, that's up to you. But if you see any sign of just hesitation or something like that, don't keep trying. Makes you look so desperate. And do you know what happened while he was going back and forth with her like that and I was talking to the friend? The friend kind of went over there to talk to her and see what's going on. And meanwhile, I took 2 steps back from that scenario, got on my phone, tried to text my friend because I couldn't find his. BS. BITCHS. And while I was texting him, 5 seconds later, I look up, both of them came up to me. And this time, the girl who was twerking on me, she came even closer to me, like she was about to kiss me. And I was like, oh, what happened? She's like, I'm not into him at all. And I don't know how to tell him no. I'm like, okay, well, turn around and start twerking on me. And he'll get a hint. And she did. And finally, the dude took a hint. And he looked at me, he gave me a thumbs up. Bro, you can't make this up, man. And then my friend came over, finally, after I texted him, and I guess he knew where I was. I didn't move from where I was. He was moving around the whole place, trying to find some prey for him. No luck. So he came over, and the guy is still standing there. Even though he gave me a thumbs up, he's still standing right next to us. Like, dude, oh my God, get out of here. And my friend was like, do you know them? And he's like, no, we're just talking. Like, that guy literally told my friend that, oh, him and the girl who was twerking on me was talking. Like, dude, no, she wasn't. She was trying to get you out of there. And he's like, oh, okay, so what's going on? He's like, well, that guy over there just took her from me. And my friend literally called him a bitch. And he said, no, I'm not that, man. My friend is like, yeah, you are. You literally just let him take your girl that you were talking to. Because my friend didn't really know that he was the one who came in and tried to talk to her while I was talking to this girl. I told my friend that story later, and he's like, oh, okay. So he was trying to make himself look bigger of a person than my friend by boasting and saying that he was the one who was talking to her first, and I'm the one who came in the picture later. Like, dude, get out of here, dude. That's just so bad. Like, how low do you have to think of yourself to be that desperate? Work on yourself, fellas. Just forget about all these night scene and distractions. This is why I only go out 2 to 3 times a year. That's it. Bars, clubs, whatever. Just 3 times is my max number. I don't know why, but I'm just not interested in that scene anymore, fellas. I'm not gonna give away any stories that happened when I was below 21 because that might be a problem. But just know that I have gotten that out of my system. So, a little bit fast forward to the story. Everybody got kicked out from the bar because they were shutting down the place. It was like 1:30 in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning. She called an Uber. And we ended up making things happen that night, her and I. I'm not bragging about myself, none of that. I closed the deal or none of that. All I'm saying is, don't be desperate. It is one of the ugliest characteristics you can have. If you're an ugly dude and if you act desperate, game over for you, dude. If you're a hot dude and you still act desperate, that's still gonna bring her attraction level down. Like, while you guys were listening to this, how did you guys feel about this guy who was being cucked pretty much by me? It feels cringy, doesn't it? Now think how I was feeling at that moment, because I was in it. And I had to witness it. I had to witness it with my own eyes. Fellas, that was so cringy. Like, come on. Have some sort of backbone. These are the type of guys why we have a society today where women think they can get away with everything and anything because they don't hold themselves accountable. They don't hold anybody else accountable for what they do, for their actions. And we need to stop being pussified. Hope this video made sense. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video to your friends. Until next time, stay blessed, stay beautiful, and above all, stay classy.